Hey everybody, it's me, Tori, and this is my presentation on the Sonoran Desert. So I'm going to jump into it. Before taking this course, I honestly thought that, my first thought about a desert is just that it's barren and there's lots of cacti and lots of animals who survive in the climate. But throughout the course, I learned that the Sonoran Desert is actually one of the most biologically diverse deserts in the world. And I think what surprised me the most was how interconnected everything is. So every species, every adaptation, and every ecological process contributes to what really is a complex system that has evolved to survive under some of the harshest conditions on Earth. And in this presentation, I'll tell you the story of how life in the Sonoran Desert survives, how they adapt, and how they thrive. So, the Sonoran Desert is more than just a hot, dry landscape. It's one of the most biodiverse deserts on Earth, and it's resilient. The first thing I learned was that deserts aren't defined by heat. They're defined by aridity. So, deserts have very little precipitation and evaporation rates exceed rainfall. So this helps create extreme environmental conditions, and that highly specialized organisms adapt to survive. So in the Sonoran Desert, species evolved structural, behavioral, physiological adaptations that allow them to continue despite the heat or the drought or any limitation on resources. So this foundational concept changed how I view desert ecosystems. Like I mentioned, these four things can help define what a desert is: low precipitation, high evaporation, extreme temperatures, and specialized adaptations. Here I have 4 bullets of what makes the Sonoran Desert unique. And the Sonoran Desert is unique because it receives rainfall during both winter and summer monsoon seasons. So this bimodal rainfall pattern can create multiple growing seasons and supports a much greater diversity of species than a lot of other deserts. So combined with the elevation changes, mountain ranges, different influences really, the Sonoran Desert has numerous habitats and ecological communities that support thousands of plant and animal species. So let's talk about the Colorado River Valley. The lower Colorado River Valley represents one of the harshest environments in North America. So temperatures regularly exceed 115 degrees Fahrenheit, and the annual rainfall can be less than 3 inches. And even with those extreme conditions, life continues to make adaptations. So an example of that is the kangaroo rat. The kangaroo rat survives without drinking water by obtaining metabolic water from seeds and producing highly concentrated urine, which is insane. Let's see, what else? Another species. Sidewinder rattlesnakes use specialized locomotion to minimize contact with hot sand, while I think it's pronounced creosote bushes, they have evolved root systems and evolved leaves that can maximize its water conservation. So all these different species, right, they are showing how the concepts of escape, evade, endure that become a major theme throughout the course. By contrast, the Arizona uplands have more rainfall and support much greater biodiversity. So this region kind of is similar to a desert forest, and it is dominated by the saguaro cacti and the palo verde trees. So the increased rainfall and the varied topography created numerous like habitats that support different species like birds, mammals, reptiles, amphibians, different pollinators. But this really helped me understand that the Sonoran Desert is not one single ecosystem, but it's really a collection of interconnected communities. So, we talked about the kangaroo rat, the sidewinder, the creosote bush, the saguaro cactus, the palo verde trees. We have lesser long-nosed bats, Gila woodpeckers, elf owls, javelinas, the list goes on. So here we have different adaptations, and this is a concept that really stuck with me, right? Different species in the Sonoran Desert survive using different methods. So, either escaping conditions that were unfavorable to them, evading different environmental stressors, enduring harsh conditions. An example of that is the Couch's spadefoot, which escapes drought by spending most of its life underground. Another example is the kangaroo rat. They evade heat by remaining nocturnal. The saguaros, they endure drought by storing large quantities of water. So all these adaptations can be either structural, behavioral, physiological, but they all demonstrate the incredible evolution, really. Here are a couple of things about the Sonoran Desert's relationships and keystone species. Again, everything is interconnected. The saguaro cactus is a keystone species because it provides food, shelter, nesting sites for hundreds of different organisms. Palo verde acts as nurse plants that protects young saguaros while enriching the soil. So throughout the desert there is just a resilient ecosystem that has so much interconnectedness. Here are some ecological processes and human interactions within the Sonoran Desert. I also learned that humans have always been a part of the ecosystem because there were indigenous communities such as the Tohono O'odham, and they developed sustainable practices so that it would work with the desert rather than against it. But today we face challenges such as urbanization, water scarcity, and climate change to threaten those ecosystems. Here is why the Sonoran Desert matters. Looking back, I realize how much my understanding of the Sonoran Desert has changed, and I don't see it as just empty, lifeless, dry, hot. Instead, I see something different. I see an interconnected ecosystem. I see a lot of crazy adaptations and resilience, and I think I was surprised by how complex species are and how they interact, and especially under extreme conditions. And this course really changed how I think about ecology and conservation and relationships within the environment. So that's why it matters. I think I learned a lot more than I expected to in this course. I think I learned to appreciate my surroundings a little bit more, especially with the labs that we've done. Now every time I see a different kind of organism that I don't know what it is, I pull out the iNaturalist app so that I can make that connection. And I think that's what it's all about, is making those connections and seeing how things, humans are connected as well. So I would have never thought about things like, bats pollinating the saguaros or the palos verdes acting as nurse plants, or, professionally, I think this course has made me appreciate the importance of environmental education, and it really helps me understand how connected everything is. So that's something people shouldn't take for granted. But anyway, one takeaway is that it's fun to learn about the things around us. Thank you.